Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're talking about Bitcoin's insane crash. Seriously, it was dramatic. Let's just jump right into the numbers because they're pretty wild.
Okay, get this. In just one day, one of the most volatile days in its history, Bitcoin's price just plummeted. We're talking a staggering $10,000. The market just went into a complete freefall.
And that drop? It was huge. It wiped out over 40% of its value from the recent peak. Think about that. A year and a half of gains, just gone. That whole post-election rally everyone was talking about, poof, vanished.
So the big question is, right, what on earth just happened? What triggered this crypto bloodbath? Well, it all seems to start with a single, pretty powerful statement.
And that statement came from the very top. The main reason for all this chaos seems to be a really blunt announcement from the US government, and it absolutely sent shockwaves through the entire market.
So here's what went down. During a hearing, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent basically said, "We are not going to save Bitcoin." He made it crystal clear. The government has no power and, more importantly, no plans to prop up Bitcoin's price. The message was loud and clear. The market is on its own.
And you can guess what happened next, right? The market's reaction was instant and brutal. Right after he said that, the price just went into an absolute tailspin. It's like the floor completely fell out from under it.
But here's the thing. The secretary's words, they were just a spark. That spark ignited what you could only call a perfect storm. A bunch of other problems that were kind of just waiting to explode.
Yeah, it was a real mess. You had this general panic spreading across all financial markets, some weird uncertainty spilling over from the AI stock world, and then this massive domino effect of forced selling. And on top of all that, you had the big-time crypto players, the whales, making some interesting moves.
Now, that sell-off got way worse because of all the automated liquidations. As prices started dropping, these leveraged bets just got wiped out, one after another. We're talking over 2.2 billion euros gone. It created this brutal snowball effect that just kept getting bigger and bigger.
And speaking of those big players, the whales, oh yeah, they made their move. They dumped more than 81,000 Bitcoin in just 8 days. Think about that signal. It's basically them shouting to the entire market that they've lost confidence.
But here's where it gets really interesting. At the exact same time the whales were selling, what were the smallest investors, the so-called shrimps, doing? The exact opposite. They were buying up the dip faster than they had in nearly 2 years. It's such a classic textbook pattern you see in these kinds of cycles.
So what does this all mean? Well, it leaves us with a market that's totally split down the middle. It's a really confusing picture of what might happen next. Are we looking at a massive opportunity here? Or is this a giant red flag? Okay, so on one hand, you've got the official government line, and it's super clear. No bailouts, they're saying let the market sort itself out.
But then, you look at their actions, right? That very same government is sitting on a huge pile of confiscated Bitcoin, a strategic reserve that has ballooned from like 500 million to over $15 billion. So they're saying one thing, but their balance sheet, it's kind of telling a different story.
And this split goes for the experts too. They are all over the place. You have the bears, who are predicting a long, painful crypto winter, saying we might not see a real recovery until 2028. But then you have the bulls, who are arguing, nope, the worst is over, this is the big sell-off, and the bottom is close.
So that leaves us with the final multi-billion-dollar question, doesn't it? Is this the end? A catastrophic crash that signals the end of the bull run? Or is this just a really violent but maybe necessary reset before the next big chapter for Bitcoin begins? Right now, it feels like the entire market is just holding its breath, waiting to find out.